I feel like I've been in a theme park all weekend because Euro Fantasy has been an absolute roller coaster. In Matchday 1, I had 0 goals, 1 assist, which was from an own goal, and the most any of my players scored was just 5 points.
Unlucky.
And in Matchday 2, every single player scored, with my lowest scoring player being 5 points.
Unlucky.
I have never, ever had a fantasy football week like this. Ever. Ever. Not a single blank in my team. Every single player scoring points. 5 goals, 3 assists, and every single one of my defenders also keeping a clean sheet. Now, the same can't be said about myself after celebrating this, if you know what I mean. I even captained my highest scoring player in the Gunda Goat, making me secure 106 points and ranked 134th in the world for Matchday 2 without even using a chip.
He's the best
fantasy
football player in the world. I don't know why he's laughing for.
And after Matchday 1, I was ranked 2.2 millionth in the world. Oh dear, big unlucky. Now, 51,000th in the world. What? I haven't seen a comeback that strong since Rob Holding's hairline. But now it's time to move on to my Limitless team selection.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's match day
3.
With all of the Matchday 2 games now finally over, we know that Spain and Portugal are the only teams that have secured first place, so can heavily rotate their teams, but the rest of the teams are pretty much good to go for. I'm not going to tease you, I'm not going to take 3 business days to reveal my team, because I just know you're just going to click to the end and look at my team anyway, so no. Teams here. And this is the Limitless team, not only draft, current team selection, locked in, sitting on my hands, not touching it until we get the Germany lineup early, and then we'll just, make all the transfers there. But, for now, it's locked in. So I have the double Germany with the best attacker, in my opinion, Musiala, and a goalkeeper that will have to make quite a lot of saves. So if he does keep a clean sheet, all of the points. Now, I am slightly worried about a Musiala early sub, and I am tempted to go with the Gundog because I think he'll get more minutes. But for them to make early subs, they'll need to score a few goals first, and I think I would rather have their best attacker for that time, so Musiala is in. And again, we will see the lineups beforehand, so you never know if a Falkirk or Sane start, then we might be teased by one of them instead. I also have the Soboslai versus Scotland, because, X-vibes of the sexy man, yeah. And it is an all-or-nothing game for both of them, and with Sobo on all of the set pieces, and he is Mr. Hungry, then he can score all the points. To be fair, I would rather if he, ate and was not so hungry before the game, but maybe he's hungry for the points. I'm avoiding Italy versus Croatia, as I was tempted by a D'Marco, but I got a slight little niggle apparently, and there's no other standout picks apart from him. I have a double rotated Spain versus Albania, as, they might be rotating their full squad, so is it even a good idea to back them? Because yes, Spain have been doing well, but their rotated squad haven't played yet, so will they do well as well? I don't know. But I do think Iozabala is a good enough option himself, and he's probably one of the most guaranteed to start. And Grimaldo, yes, he's probably the biggest risk in my team, and I'm still not fully confident he's going to start. But if he does, he has one of the highest upsides as a very attacking fullback in a defense that even when they rotate, I think they still be good for a clean sheet there. I've mostly avoided the Netherlands versus Austria game because I actually think it will be tight, and I don't think it'll be a very easy game for the Netherlands. I think everybody thinks Netherlands are going to smash them, be like, oh yeah, Austria, don't know any of their players, not terrible. No. It could actually be a very close one. So the only player I'm back in there is a Verbruggen, because if they get a clean sheet, he's probably going to be involved making the saves. But anyway, I might not even be able to sub him in if Neuer keeps a clean sheet anyway. So I have him there as a backup, but apart from him, I'm not going for anyone else. But I am actually tempted with a Grimaldo out to an Ake or a Van Dijk, because I think both of them are probably the defenders with the next highest upside apart from Grimaldo. And if I do think he's not going to start, if any leaks come out, if anybody DMs me with a leak team, wink wink, then, maybe I'll go for that move there. I have triple France with double French defense. They kept 2 clean sheets so far, and they now have their easiest game. So yeah, I think double defense is the way to go. Mbappe might not play. He's going to be Ninja Turtle with a mask, but he did play in a behind closed doors friendly yesterday, and he did score all the goals. I mean, can I get those fantasy points now? We might as well, right? But hopefully he will be playing in front of open doors this time, and I think he will at least play at least half of the game. If he doesn't start, I think he'll come on there. And with it being such a good fixture attacking-wise against Poland, who conceded all the goals, and France need to score all the goals, I think it's worth the risk for getting him in there. And with England playing on the same day, it's not like we need him for captaincy, so yeah, he's good enough to go. And now I am back in the French fullbacks with Theo Hernandez and Koundé over the centre-backs, as I feel like both of them have attacking potential, so even if an Mbappe doesn't start or he's not involved in the goals, at least I feel like I've got some sort of attacking threat. And I do feel like there's going to be hardly any defending to do for France, so I don't think the centre-backs will get as many ball recoveries. With the full-backs, they're good to go. Eriksen has joined the team as the centrepiece of the Danish attack, where he's creating so many chances. I might even be able to score for them because that's how many he's created. He plays against a Serbia team who haven't looked great, and I do expect Denmark to win that, but it is still an all-or-nothing game for both teams, so I think even if they do go a goal or two up, I think Eriksen will still be on the pitch, and he's taking all the set pieces, so I think there's a good chance for him to get all of the points. I've got triple England with double defence, where I've actually gone for double defenders instead of a Pickford, because I want to guarantee they will actually start, as I am back in this one to be one of the easiest clean sheets on paper. I mean, that's not always how it goes, but with these two defenders, they got good enough high upside as well. Guehi making all of the ball recoveries, and then Trippier might be on more set pieces if Trent doesn't start, so that's why I'm going for them there. And I think Kane, I think a game like Slovenia suits him a bit more than the other two have. He can actually stay higher up the pitch and do his job of, scoring the goals. So that is the triple England I'm going for there. Then on the last day, we only have a double Belgium with Varkaku. I think I'm going to start calling him that because 3 goals, 3 disallowed goals. He's still yet to score despite being the top scorer. Work that one out. But he has looked very good and creating all the chances himself. And then when you have players like De Bruyne behind you creating chances for you as well, I think he's finally going to score this week. I'm only saying that because I'm selecting him and, I want him to score, but manifesting, And De Bruyne showed us what he can do in the last game, so he is definitely in my team as well. So that is the team sorted. For captaincy, I will have a Musiala on the first day, or maybe another German player if I decide to switch him out if the lineups come out and we're like, oh, he's starting. Let's go for him. We have an Iozabal on the second day. That's mainly the only reason I am going to go for him, because if we had other captain options on Matchday 2, I probably wouldn't risk going for any of the Spain rotated team, but I would rather have a captaincy option, so we're going for him. On the third day, we have Mbappe if he starts, and we will see if he starts before we have to lock in our subs and our captain for that day, so that's all good. And if he doesn't start, I have Kane on that day anyway, so lovely. And we have De Bruyne or Lukaku on the last day, but we're not going to have to get to them because all the players before can score all the points again. Just like Matchday 3, right? Right. So that is the team done. I'm avoiding Portugal, as even though they have arguably the best fixture out of any team, they are a team that's won both of the games playing against the weakest team in the tournament, in my opinion, in the Georgia. But because they're already secured first plate and they're going to heavily rotate, I'm not too sure at all who's going to start for them. But more importantly, because they're playing last on the last day, not only are we not going to see the lineups before the sub deadline, it is also the last day. So if any of the players we choose don't end up playing or starting, then we can't sub them out for another player. So I don't really want to run the risk of choosing them there. Or especially on the Limitless, I could choose anybody. So I would much rather choose a player earlier that I know is going to start. Because, Portugal could win 5-0, but if a Jota or a João Felix don't start, then all of a sudden Ronaldo does, but you probably wouldn't choose Ronaldo because he might not start, then it's like, no, I'd rather choose players I know who are going to play. And that is why, if you look, pretty much every single player in my squad is guaranteed to play, apart from the ones that aren't guaranteed to play, like a Grimaldo, but he has a high enough upside, and the rest are fully locked in. Not only will they play, they will probably all play 90 minutes or close to that. As I think at this point of the tournament, even if teams haven't fully qualified, they will be a little bit conscious of the knockouts, so you've got to make sure you have the players that will get the minutes to get the points. And not only that, I am back in the main talisman, the main men for the main teams. I'm not going for some risky picks with some of the slightly less known players than less known teams. We're going for somewhat safe options, but as a collective, the Limitless is differential enough to have all of the best players to score all of the points. You don't need to go differential. And again, we will see the lineups for the Germany, Switzerland, Hungary, Scotland game before the deadline, before we have to lock in the teams. So if there are any surprise picks in there, then we could make any last minute changes. And if you do want to see what last minute changes I do, then you'll have to follow me on Twitter. Oh, what a shame. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. But that's going to be all. Thanks for watching, and remember.
Don't be a cheeky scrub. Subscribe to Nathan Bacon right now. Don't let your memes be dreams.